Fantastic. You're welcome to our first free webinar at Fundraising Academy. Today, I'll be teaching about how to win the prize. The prize is essentially a program that has been running for several years, I think more than 5 years. And what they do is that they offer you up to $20,000 in grants for you to pilot a project of your choice around specific areas that they're interested in seeing. Okay, so but before I start, let me give you a quick background about the price because I was aware of the price right from when they started it, right? So this program, as the name suggests, you can see it here, D, then dash price. The website is theprice.org. So I'm just going to paste that in the chat box, just in case you want to check that out. And this program is 100% free. Okay. Free to learn about it, free to apply for it. It's 100% free. So the price, the name D stands for like distribution. And what they are focused on is really about people who want to start something new. Okay. So if you already have an existing organization, this might not be the best grant for you. It is for people who are about to start. So if you have an existing organization and maybe you want to launch something new, then this is a very good price for you. Another thing I like about the price is that the price pays a lot of attention to three things. Number one, they pay attention to you, the founder, which means you have to be very passionate about what you're trying to do. Beyond passion, they also look at for skill. So, which means that if you are going to be proposing to do something around education, or you're going to be proposing to do something around health, you need to have some form of expertise in that particular area. Another thing they care about, right, is that they focused on already proven solutions. So let me explain. It means that they are not interested in your creative idea that you invented, right? To say, okay, I invented this particular program or this particular product, and this particular product will solve XYZ poverty problem. They are really not interested in that. What they are very interested in is in something that is already proven. So that solution that you invented has already been demonstrated and proven to work to solve the issue you said you would solve. They're like super focused on how do you distribute that particular product. So just as an example again, when you think about the most successful companies or corporations or NGOs, one of the keys to their success is the ability to distribute their products. So think about Coca-Cola or Fanta or some of these soft drinks that you take. In your village, you would be able to buy a bottle of Coke, right? In any city in Nigeria or in Africa, you would be able to buy a bottle of Coke. In fact, anywhere in the world, you can buy Coke. That's because the Coca-Cola company has one of the most awesome distribution strategies in the world. If you take a look at even your best musicians, from Two-Face to P-Square to name anybody, right? Or even your gospel musicians, the difference between the highly successful musicians and the ones who are still upcoming is distribution, right? So the price is interested in proven poverty solutions that are looking for distribution, like they're looking to scale. What is the meaning of scale? Scale what's the best way of explaining this in a very ordinary language? You know, when you're at home and then water spills, right, from your cup, or you on the tap, right? You can fetch a cup of water, right? But when rain is falling, that's water at scale, water falling at scale. So it's happening not just on top of your house. Everybody in your neighborhood is experiencing rain. is experiencing water, and then there is water probably across the entire local government or state. That is scale. So the price is interested in solutions that can scale across your, not just within people in your locality or local government or states, but something that could potentially go national or Pan-African. Okay. I say that because a lot of the people listening to me today are from the continent of Africa. So if you don't understand this, you would just keep applying to the price and you get rejections. I think every year they get probably over 3,000 people, if not more, who try to get into this program. And most of them, I can guarantee you, like more than 50% of the people who get rejected is because they just don't understand everything I said within the first 5 minutes of this meeting. So let's go into a little bit of details. I'm actually on the price website. Yeah, so the price I was $20,000, as you can see here, to new organizations, right? Now, what type of organizations are they interested in supporting? They're interested in supporting non-profit organizations, NGOs, or if you're trying to run a business, they are also interested in doing that. However, this needs to be implemented in what they call a low or middle income country, of which Nigeria and probably every African country qualifies for this. Maybe with exception of countries where terrorism, is such a big issue. Now, the price, I know a lot of you came in here because you're trying to explore things around education. Yeah, so we're going to specifically talk about that as our case study for today. But for those of you who probably into agriculture or you're into health or some other programs like, oh, we're training women, we're trying to empower them, XYZ, XYZ, I could just give a quick briefing about that. And including for people who might have some form of projects that might have impact on the public service space, the prize is also for you, okay? So the key to winning the prize, number one, is to really, 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 really understand the basics of what this funder is looking for. All right. This is the key to understanding, to winning the prize. You must understand what they're looking for and give it to them. I tell people you always have to think like your customer, right? So your customer in this case is the price. So what do they want? So let's start with the most important components for this conversation today. Again, I'm excited to have everybody on this call. Some of you are coming in from the Fundraising Academy. Some of you found me through Facebook on my wall and specifically on my friend's wall, Shoma, who I'm thankful to. So Shoma, thank you again for pulling this together. Okay, so let's talk about this education. So what is the price looking for? So if you come in here and you click on, I'm just going to click on this, right? So the price works across multiple challenges, multiple sectors, like I said earlier, health, water, agriculture, livelihoods, energy, public service, and education. So for each of them, so if you're doing health, you come to health, you click on the plus sign, you would see the specific problems that they're interested in addressing. So the price has already done research on each of these sectors, and they figured out specific poverty issues for each sector, right? And they've created some form of hypothesis, which is like what they think that if this is solved, it could lead to exponential or big impact within society. Okay, so they have already captured that under each sector. So if you're applying to health, you need to read what they're looking for, right? You see they have like multiple challenges here. You can pick one of them. I'm not going to go too much into that detail. I want to come to education first, since a lot of people want to apply towards education. Now, for education, there's this thing called teaching at the right level. So, and I've researched this a couple of years ago. Teaching at the right level, essentially is really like some form of methodology in the field of education. We call it methodology. It's a way of teaching people not based on their age. So you know this kind of thing that happens here. you go to, let's say, primary 1, or let's say primary 5, you see kids in primary 5 in most government schools, maybe they cannot read and write properly, right? But the child is in primary 5, maybe because of their age, maybe this child is 12 years old, or whatever, and because they are old, right, or they're a particular age, they'll put them in that particular class without giving attention to the fact that this child, based on their level of understanding, they are thinking at the level of primary 2, right? Whereas they are in primary 5. And because the educational system is weak, there's no quality control, or there's no system in place to get that child to repeat primary 2. Instead, everybody is just pushing them through school. And so we now live in a society where people finish secondary school and they cannot do like proper mathematics, right? People finish secondary school, they cannot even speak good English, or English at a very basic level. So teaching at the right level, what it essentially involves is like, you come to a particular class, you assess the level of understanding of the kids, right? And then based on their level of understanding, you then pair them up. So you categorize the kids. So if there are 20 kids in a class, you go to primary 5, for example, and maybe at primary 5, you're supposed to be able to do long division, long multiplication, right? Algebra or basic algebra and all those kind of things. So if at primary 5, for example, that is a skill a child is supposed to have, you will come and assess them. And maybe you assess the kids, you see that, okay, some of them can do short multiplication or short division, right? Or maybe they can only read 2 or 3 letter words. They cannot read 5 letter words. What you would then do would be to categorize the kids based on that particular insight. Okay, these 10 kids, oh, they can read 3 letter words. These other 10 kids, they can read sentences and even understand it, right? So what you would then do would be to design or teach your curriculum. So you will not be teaching all of them together, right? You would essentially, the ones who are ripe for that class, you give them what they're supposed to get. And then the other ones, you would teach them using maybe primary 3's curriculum or primary 3's textbook. Do you understand? So the idea is to really teach at the right level. So that's why they call it TARL, teaching at the right level. So I'm just trying to break it down in a way that you can understand. Now, if you are applying to the price, right, this is what one of the things they're interested in. Now, if what you do does not fall under this particular category, what you need to do is to click on custom. So I would just open the TAL challenge and click on custom. So when you click on custom, the price has a template where you yourself can propose your own challenge, right, to them, right? And in that case, you would still need to submit a concept note, but you will need to provide a lot of evidence, yeah, to back up your claim, okay, that this is indeed an issue of poverty that needs to be solved. Again, the price is not the program for you if you already have if you have a program you want to provide to people, but it's not really linked to poverty. What the price is interested in is that you are solving a poverty-related problem, right? A poverty-related problem, a problem that affects people from low-income communities or middle-income communities. So please keep that in mind. And also observe that they keep using the word distributing. So which means beyond having developing or creating or suggesting or proposing a new organization, a key part of your proposal must include details about how you will distribute your intervention. Okay, that is really, really critical. So please do not miss that. So let me start with the first one, which is TAL. So for TAL, I already described what TAL is. You would observe that the prize did a good job at explaining what the poverty issue is, right? For example, they say here that a lot of kids are enrolled in schools, in primary schools. However, attendance to school has not really improved. The fact, just because a child goes to school does not mean that they are learning anything meaningful, right? And in a lot of places where they don't even have enough teachers or enough textbook or enough things to like teach those kids. You find that a lot, more than half of these students, they cannot even read a single word. So this is talking about children in primary 2, primary 3, primary 1, right? These are the people most affected. So what the prize is looking for is somebody who would ideally launch an NGO or a business that would provide, that will go to these schools, assess these kids, categorize them based on their level of understanding, and provide them educational tutorials, educational training that helps them improve their ability to read, number one, and their ability to do mathematics. Simple. That's it. That's it. That's it. And for the pilot program, if you are able to at least serve 100 to 250 kids who are in the primary school, then you qualify. Okay. And then number two, you must be able to, beyond these kids that you can serve, you must be able to propose how you would get to bigger numbers. Okay, so I'm just trying to create a high-level summary of all this big English they're speaking here. Now, I've also talked briefly about the solution. Yeah. So I want to go a little bit into if you decided that you wanted to design your own challenge, for example, my suggestion to you is that you should follow the same pattern that the prize used when they designed this particular challenge. All right, so you would need to create your own specific one. Okay, so I hope that answers that particular question. I would like to dive into other aspects of this program, which would include things around when should you apply, when is the deadline to apply, and all that. So this program happens every year, and I think it does have like 2 cycles in a year, but I'm not sure. But I know that it's something that happens every year. So even if you don't apply it now, you can apply for the new one and take time to prepare a good proposal. Okay. Now the deadline to submit, early submission deadline, was in June. Okay. Today we're in July. So about 1 month ago was the time to submit if you're going to submit early. Now, the regular submission deadline was 14th of July, which was 2 weeks ago. However, the prize has something called extension deadline. Okay. So the extension deadline allows people who are not able to submit but still want to submit, send in their proposals by latest August 4th. August 4th, right? August 4th is essentially, I think that should be next week. No, in about a week plus, about 2 weeks from now. So there's still enough time to apply. And then the proposal is just 2 pages. Just 2 pages. So it's not like a long form you need to complete. However, if you need to apply for this round, you need to click on the prize, this website, theprize.org/extension. I'm just going to copy it, right? And paste again on the chat, just in case. I'm sure some of you might be interested in doing that. So I'm just going to paste the link. So you will see a short form when you click on it. So this is the form you will see. Okay, you just come in here, put your name, Jean Doe, put your email address, and just click. Have you applied before? No. You put your name. Let's say your name is J, whatever you want to put there. You just type it in, put your email, and then no, and then you submit. That's all. Right? So that way they would know or be expecting your application to come through. Okay, so that is how this part of the program works. So I'm going to go back to discuss other things. I think I already talked about who should apply. So another thing about this prize I've observed, though, just my own observation, is that if you are already well established as a social entrepreneur like me, they are not really looking for you to apply. Okay. So that you don't waste your time. This is for people who are trying to break out, who are trying, like, they're looking for new faces ahead. They're not looking for somebody who has won multiple awards or who has been very successful in, that is my own thinking, because in the past I've known of people who tried to get into the program who were also very good, but they were not accepted. However, people who were not even popular were the ones accepted. So this is a classic case of if you don't have connection, this program is for you. It's a good program to apply to. If you don't know anybody, if you don't get helper, apply to the price. Okay, it's a very good program actually. You win based on merit. This program is not for people who know how to speak big English. Okay, it is for people. In fact, if you apply right for this program, it's just a 2-page proposal, and your English is not correct, they will not penalize you. In normal programs, you will be penalized, but on this program, you will not be penalized, okay? So you just need to follow the instructions and submit. And then you can only submit one proposal per person, or if you are partnering, okay, that's something I've not talked about. You can also decide to have a co-founder or a partner. So, for example, Alfred and Theophilus can decide to join forces together to submit one proposal, right? So that, which shows that you people both own this project also, or you people would implement it together. And in doing that, you need to be very careful with who you choose. You only need to choose people who are resourceful, which means they have something to contribute, not because you're looking for a partner, right? Just get people who you have good working relationship with to do this thing together. Now, let me talk about the different stages with the prize. So essentially, it has what we call 3 rounds: round 1, round 2, round 3. Okay, I already talked about round 1. For the round 2, essentially what happens is that when you submit your concept notes for round 1, we'll talk about that briefly. We'll talk about the concept note briefly. For round 2, you will then be invited to submit what is called a full proposal, which is far longer. Now, if you do get to that stage, you can also reach out to me, right? For maybe like additional conversation or advice to support you with your proposal development, okay? Essentially, once you're done with that, and they like your idea and your proposal and everything, then you would be invited for an interview with the judges. So which essentially would include 1 or 2 persons from the prize team, and maybe 1 or 2 other people who are experts in that field. So essentially, if you apply to health, the health challenge, you would get people who are subject matter experts. They understand health, come in to interview you. If you apply to education, they would get somebody who understands education to also interview you. Now, yeah, the price they're giving is up to $20,000. There's a reason I use the word up to, because most Nigerians don't, or Africans don't really understand that particular word up to. So it means that you might realize that, okay, you want to implement this project in Ajegunle, or you want to implement it in Nasarawa or Jigawa or wherever or in Zimbabwe, whichever location you want to implement this. But you don't have, if your budget, right? Maybe when you develop the cost of implementing it, you realize that this whole thing is going to cost me 10 million naira. 10 million naira, if you convert it to dollars, is about probably $7,000 or $8,000. So when you apply to the price, just put $8,000 down. Don't put 20. You don't need to use the full budget. Okay, if you need it, good and fine. But if you find out that it's just this thing will cost me $10,000, then apply for $10,000. Another reason people do not get accepted into this program is because they submit budgets that is like a political budget, right? That is padded, So of course they would always get local people to help examine the cost that you're insinuating, okay? And don't forget, they have also reviewed thousands of applications. They've seen probably almost everything, right? They need to see. So usually, if you come and say your project is going to cost $20,000 and you are going to impact 200 kids, what you are telling them is that it will cost you $100 to impact 1 kid. The question then becomes, that $100 that you're claiming to use to impact that 1 kid would mean that you're spending about $85 per month on a kid. So by the time you convert that to Naira, does that really make sense for that community, right? So just as though somebody tells you that they're going to have a flat, or they rent a property in Ajegunle, and in this particular 2-bedroom flat, they're paying 5 million naira per year. When you hear that kind of thing, you will suspect them, right? Because if they had told you that the flat was in Victoria Island or in Abuja, Asokoro or something, you would believe. But if they tell you that that thing is in Jigawa, you and I know that this person is not a straightforward person. So make sure that you are straightforward and you take caution when you apply. The most important thing is not even getting the money. The most important thing is just getting that, just being a part of that community that would help you succeed long term. And the prize is one of those kind of programs. Okay, so let's jump now into judging criteria. I want to leave enough time for Q&A, and I want this meeting to be short. Okay, so if you have questions, you can begin to drop them down on the chat below. I would essentially look at the questions. Okay, now let's talk about a number of things. Let's talk about the judging criteria. What are the judges looking for, right? When they get your 2-page proposal or concept note, what is going through their mind? What are the things they're looking for to select who will move from stage 1 to stage 2? Number 1, I talked about this before, passion and potential, right? So if you are not an educational expert, please don't apply towards education, right? If you are not skilled, if you have not worked in the field of education, if you don't have some form of certifications, like it's really going to be hard to win it, except of course you have a partner who has the relevant skill, knowledge, experience in that particular field, right? So again, you will see that they emphasize here that there must be evidence in terms of academic profession. So for example, I teach at Fundraising Academics, but one thing most people don't know is that I actually have an educational certificate, right? So I'm actually certified. I'm a certified educational trainer or expert from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, right? So that is one of the certifications that I have. So beyond just saying I'm training people, I'm a coach or something, no, I'm actually trained in education to know how to deliver a curriculum to people, right? So they want to see something similar to that. If you are proposing a health challenge, it makes a lot of sense. For example, if you're proposing a medical challenge, like you want to solve a medical issue and all that, it makes a lot of sense if you are a medical doctor yourself, or you have someone who is a medical doctor or pharmacist on your team. Okay, so it's very important. If you miss that, it doesn't matter how great your proposal is, it will not go through. Okay. Okay, I think that's it for that. And maybe I could just quickly emphasize that part of what they also want to see is some form of career advancement. So they would most likely take a look at your CV, and they would like to see that, okay, you've done something, you've made progression in your leadership work, or in the types of initiatives you have implemented in the past. Okay, so your past counts. That's why I tell people, don't mess up with your past. Make sure you are always doing something important. If you're working for a company, make sure you are contributing. Don't just be taking salary. Don't be taking salary. Make sure that you are giving value. You are active. You are participating in projects, because a day is coming where opportunities will come up and they will want to look at your past. And if you have not done anything but just sit down and collect salary, you will not advance forward. It will be hard to get somebody to help you, or get somebody to, recommend you for more responsibilities. Okay. Now, the second thing the judges look out for is focus, 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 focus on distribution. What is focus? When somebody is focused, right, on one thing, like right now, I'm looking at the screen, okay, and I'm talking with you. I cannot be talking to somebody else at the same time, right? At the same time. I mean, some people do that, right? But it just feels like they become like really distracted. So focus creates blindness. Focus creates blindness. When you decide to do one thing, it means that you have decided not to do other things. Okay? So the focus of the price is distribution. Distribution. And I already explained what distribution is. So you see here, they say focus on distributing your solution. You know, the price has this fantastic thing I love. One of the things I love about them is that they say a lot of the solutions to poverty has already been created. The problem is that those solutions have not been distributed to meet with the people who need them. So essentially, the price was created to help finance people who are ready to distribute the solution. So it's just like a normal trader in Nigeria, an Hausa man or Igbo man or Yoruba man, whoever, or woman, when they set up like a wholesale shop or they want to distribute a particular product, they don't need to produce it, they don't need a factory, they just need to be able to do business with somebody else's solution. So the price is looking for those kind of people, and your proposal should center around that. How would you help X number of people, and what is your plan in the next 2 or 3 years to take it to 10,000 people or 20,000 people? That is what they're interested in. Okay, now the last component of what they look at for will be based on they're looking at the organizational model you're proposing, your concept notes, and your commitment. So this is something I'm quite vast in. So essentially, when you propose a new idea, and I see that from people who run several organizations across the world. Sometimes some people go and launch NGO, right? And they don't know that what they should have launched is a business. And then some people will be doing businesses that are actually supposed to be NGOs. And part of the reason is because they never took our time to count the costs. They never took our time to like run some form of financial projections to understand, will this thing be profitable? And if it will not be profitable, okay, how much grants do I need to be winning on an annual basis to be able to balance my budget? Because sometimes really you should not have a for-profit organization for certain things, okay? So the reason you need to know based on data, based on, don't just go and reach NGO because you want to win grants or business because you want to get investors money. You need to run the numbers properly. Then when you run the numbers, you will now know that, okay, this should be an NGO, this should be a for-profit business, right? That's number one. Number two thing you should keep in mind with this last criteria is that the price is looking for, of course, for something that can go big. It's going to start small, but it can go big. So when somebody might ask, oh, what do you mean go big? Or something that starts small but can go big. Essentially, what I mean is that, what example do I use? Let me use beans. Beans, the beans you buy from the market. You know that beans you buy from the market, 1 cup of beans. You know, if you plant that 1 cup of beans, you don't cook it, you plant it in your compound, right? Just give it like 2 to 3 months. You will see a lot of beans, right? And then if you harvest that one and replant again, before you know what's happening, just give yourself 2 years. You're already counting money in dollars, right? And that is because over time, certain things have the ability to grow. However, let's use another example of a native fowl, this village chicken. You know that some of us, our parents had those things, right? For years, they cannot grow beyond, once they give back, they lay a number of eggs, hash. If you wait within the same 3 years that a beans will take to grow over 10 acres of land, that same chicken is still struggling to produce their 10th or 20th chick, okay? So when they say potential for scale, you have to look at the DNA of the idea, right? Can this thing scale? What's the ease of this thing growing or exploding if it has all the support needed to grow? Okay, so pay attention to that. Okay, they are not interested in, I mean, they wish you the best if you want to just do an SME, live a quiet life, do this thing in your community. No, this program is not for you if that's what you have in mind. But if you want to do that thing in your community and you have a vision that beyond this, my community, I'm going to take it around the 700 local governments of Nigeria, 700 plus local governments in Nigeria. And then in the next 4 or 5 years, I'm going to take it to Kenya, Zimbabwe, Rwanda. I'm going to take this into Ghana. That is what they're looking for. Ambition, potential for scale, right? And beyond that, commitment. So everybody will say they are committed to their idea when they're applying for proposal, right? And they will say, if I get the money, I'll be committed. But really, there's a difference between that and recommitment. So let me explain what commitment is. You know, fried egg. Fried egg. In the preparation of fried egg, the chicken that laid that egg participated in the project, right? Because before you can get fried egg, a chicken laid egg, okay? But if you are going to eat hot dog or suya, the cow that produced that meat was committed. The cow was committed because the cow essentially lost his life before you can eat suya, okay? So it is only committed cattle or cow, right, that produce suya. Fried egg is a product of participation in that particular project. So the price is looking for people who will be committed to the project. Not like you will die, you God forbid, but we're just saying that you are ready to give up everything that you are doing today to focus on this thing. So it means that if you have a full-time job or you have one NGO or business that you are running now, and you are hoping that, okay, I'll win this grant and I will be doing this one side gig, doing this one by the corner, the price is not for you. They're looking for people, even if you get accepted, there has to be some commitment that, okay, after I do this pilot, I have a job, but I'll be doing this part-time. But after I get this pilot right and it works out well, I'm ready to resign from that job or whatever I'm doing to go focus on this full-time. Why? Because you want to distribute, you have ambition, you want to grow to multiple locations. So it's a full-time job for you and your partner, okay? So keep that in mind so that you don't waste time applying for this program if you are not a fit. And that's okay. If you decide like, no, this does not fit you, that's essentially fine. You can essentially learn the tips and, you know, use it for other proposals. Okay. In creating your proposal, there are a number of tips they've given. So these are normal tips. Essentially, if I would summarize everything here, they're just saying, be very clear in your communication, right? Be brief, be clear, you know, and talk to us as though we know what we're doing. So don't, and people make the mistake when they're developing proposals, they'll start defining things. You know, the judges on this program, they are very smart. They understand the field. So if you're applying to health, they understand health very well, right? So talk to them like you're talking to experts, right? Another thing they're saying is that use your sense to make sure that whatever you're proposing, the budget makes sense. It's going to have impact and it's going to go to multiple locations. And finally, the last part will still be about focus, but really what they mean with this last point is that some people, they want to do a lot. Within these 3 months, they want to change the world. That is not the kind of persons or entrepreneurs that the prize is looking for. They're not looking for people who do magic in 3 months. They're just looking for simple things, right? Like, okay, I have a community in Jigawa. This community, this is the issue there. This community has 100 schools and each school has 50 kids, right? There are 5,000 kids there. However, I'm going to start with ABC Primary School. This ABC Primary School has 100 kids, right? Or I'm going to start with 5 schools. The total number of kids in these 5 schools is just 300. And I will focus on them. I will partner with the Ministry of Education to do this. I'll partner with this, you know, like just keep it within scope. Don't try to do too many things. They are not asking you to go and do CAC registration. They're not asking you to go and do all these other effigy. Just do something clear, simple, straightforward. extremely focused on measuring the implementation and the impact of your project within a 3-month timeline. Okay, so which is just a quarter. Now, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up by just talking about the concept note you will be submitting. What is in the concept note? The concept note contains 3 key components, right? Essentially, right? Now, you need to start. So think of the concept notes like you're watching a movie, right? It starts with tension, right? Like you see what somebody created one problem, and then somebody starts looking for a solution, and then there's the last fight. You hear the actor and the bulls fight, boop, 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 right? And then at the end of the day, the movie ends, everybody goes home happily ever after. That is how your proposal should be. When you start, you talk about the problem you want to address, where you want to address that particular problem, who the problem is affecting. You're very clear about that particular component. Then you introduce your solution. Okay, I'm going to implement 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And this is the particular solution I'm going to be implementing. Then you hit hard on how you're going to distribute it. Even the 200 people you're going to serve, or the 250 kids you're going to, how would you even get to them, right? How would you practically, you need to highlight those things properly in your proposal. And again, there's something I like about this particular program, the price. The purpose of a pilot is to test the fundamentals of your business or the basis of your value proposition on a small scale. We want to know which part of your model you will focus on. So I could give an example, or maybe I'll do that during the Q&A. I wanted to give an example of actual the price projects or applicants that I was involved with in the past. Okay, but the idea here is that you need to understand what you're doing so well. So it's going to be hard for you to even win if you are not an expert in this field or in the field that you're trying to apply for, right? So you need to come to them and say, hey, with regards to this particular poverty intervention, like for people who want to apply to agriculture, for example, you might find out that, okay, an issue is that the cost of fertilizer is too expensive or the cost of seeds is too expensive, blah, 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 blah. So my pilot would target 100 farmers, for example, and we are going to focus on how to make this input much more affordable. And here's our proposal to do that. And if it works in XYZ location, we're going to scale it to 10 or 50 more locations, and within 2 years, we're going to scale it to 500, whatever, right? There needs to be clarity of thinking, a clear methodology around how, like, there needs to be logic to your thinking. Okay, so this is what the price is expecting from you. Keep things simple and all that. And I think this is where I might not be able to cover everything right now. But again, I think I've covered the basics of what you need to win the prize. I would like to take questions, I would like to take questions, and this is where I would really encourage you, if you are new to winning grants, or you're new to writing proposals, and some of these things you need to win grants, like reach out. I have a program, Fundraising Academy, where we teach how to even just understand what funders are looking for. We teach how to understand what investors are looking for, how to tell your story, how to develop a pitch deck, how to develop a proposal, like those kind of details, how to have a fundraising strategy. We go into those details over like a 1-month period. So I invite you to participate in that program too. But I would like to spend more time today taking questions from potential applicants, or from people who are here with us live. So I'll also check Facebook. If you have questions, please type on the video is being streamed on Facebook. Just type your questions there and I will respond to it. Thank you very much. So let's take the questions. I see Muhammad Nasiru, your hands are up. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. And after that, we'll go to Chichi.
Okay. Thank you so much, our coach for the day. I truly appreciate your time and consideration.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this is an eye opening, and then I just want to say I will meet you one more in your academy by the grace of God.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you very
So
much.
going forward with my question is concerning the first round proposal,
Yeah.
because that is the first stage and that will determine if you are going to the next round or not.
Mm-hmm.
So please, I would appreciate if you can provide us with a sample and share on your Facebook page. So that will guide everyone here, and we're really going to appreciate it. And
Okay.
if that would not be possible, then maybe you can give a very a very clear explanation, especially on how to include the teams, their experience, all of that, and be able to work within 2 pages they're required.
Okay.
What are the font size, type, testing styles, and whatsoever. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Muhammad. That was a very good question, by the way. Very good question. So, as a matter of personal philosophy, I do not provide like existing grant documents to people or participants. I do not do that. I rarely do that. Why? The reason is because people are always looking for shortcuts, right? So I believe that if you learn how to do it yourself, right, you are in a more better position, because what will happen is that you would always be looking for samples. If you're applying to USAID grant or Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation grant, you will always, if you don't have samples, you will not be able to write a proposal. So what I teach at the Fundraising Academy is to help you think, right? Just help you think, like help you break through in your thinking around how to address each of these proposals, okay? So that is my own approach to this, and I would welcome anybody who is on this call or who will be listening to this call to come check out Fundraising Academy, participate in it, and get your thinking shaped. Once your mind is renewed, you would not even ask for samples anymore. However, Muhammad is an intelligent person, because he said if it is not possible, okay, give us so. So I would answer that second part of your question. I believe you're trying to talk about these other two components of the concept notes, right? So I will start first by saying, um, let me talk about the team, because you're very specific about that. Now, for the team, you can see what they wrote here. They say talk about everybody who's going to be on the team. When the pilot is happening. So let's say you want to execute a pilot in Jigawa, for example, or in Jalingo, for example. Will everybody be in Jalingo at the time of the pilot? Or somebody will be in Lagos, another in Abuja, another person will be in Jalingo, or will you be doing it remotely? They want to know where will you be, right? It's even possible that somebody might be in UK or in London while the pilot is happening in Nigeria or in Zimbabwe or in Ghana, right? So they want to know where each person will be during the pilot, right? Now, if you might also have a case where you have other commitments, either somebody is a student, they have to be doing an examination that time, or they have to be attending lectures, or maybe they have a full-time job, right, that will not allow them to fully participate. You need to disclose those kind of things. So they want transparency around those. And it's as simple as, hey, my name is Mohammed Nasiru. I'm an expert in XYZ. I'm based in Jalingo. I will be 100% committed to the pilot, and I would be at that location during the pilot program for a period of 6 months, 3 months, whatever, right? You need to be able to specify that clearly, and that needs to be done for every single person. Now, for the CV, let's assume that you have 3 people on your team, and it's just an assumption. It could be less, right? You would submit a 3-page CV. So if it's a 1-man team, 1-page CV. If it's a 2-man team or a 2-person team, 2-page CV. So 1 person per page, okay? And usually, the most important thing you need to highlight in your CV, because some of us or some of you might be applying, may have done many things before. You only want to highlight things that are relevant. So if you are applying to education challenge, highlight only things that has relevance to the educational sector or to that particular target community that you want to serve. Okay, and then again, even if this money is grant, you must treat it like an investment, right? That's just the truth. You need to think of it as an investment. So which means that you're looking for people who are accomplishers. There are people who are good at achieving something. So one of the secrets to writing a great CV, which I could share with you, right? Everybody in this call, just as a tip, right? When you submit a CV to any donor, always mention your achievements and how you highlight your achievements. Don't just say, for example, I worked in sales department. Some people would go and copy the job description of that role they did and paste it into their CV. That's very lazy. What you will do is that I was head of sales, or I was a salesman, for example, for 12 months. Within these 12 months, I sold product worth 100 million naira, which was 50% higher than when I met it. Like, so you see the way I use numbers to explain the achievements, right? And I was very specific about the timeline. So it helps people measure if you are an exceptional person. Because anybody who could accomplish this type of sale within this particular sector with whatever time, yeah, it helps people quantify. So you will, under each particular role you decide to highlight, you can just mention like 3 powerful accomplishments. Do you understand? That is what makes a CV to stand out. In fact, there are going to be people who win this because of their CV, right? Of course, they have great proposal, but they have exceptional CVs. I think I've been able to answer that particular question that Mohammed asked. Now I'm going to take the next question from Chichi. Chichi, you can unmute.
I already did. Hi, good evening. Good evening,
Yeah,
everyone.
Chichi.
Thank you so much. This has been very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my question is, I remember that you said at the beginning of the session that existing ventures may not be able to apply. What happens in situation where someone who is running an existing venture is launching something new? Can I apply for this something new? And will the fact that I already have an existing venture affect that I am using this new one to apply for the prize? Because I am aware that some of them, or quite a number of these organizations, do due diligence. The point of due diligence, they will discover that I have an existing venture. And how does this impact on the fact that I want to use something new, a new entirely opportunity to apply for the prize? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chichi. That's a great question. In fact, I think I've probably heard of 1 or 2 cases around that. It did not end in a grant being awarded. These were very good entrepreneurs who went on to raise even more money from other funders. But at that point in time, I think they got to like the finals, but it didn't lead to like a grant award, actually, because they are interested mostly in new people, like in new faces, right? Like something entirely like new. They don't essentially want it to be like you have an organization and then you go roll out maybe a different product or a different service under your organization. Maybe your organization is doing 2 or 3 things, and this is just one of those things. They don't want that. They want you to focus exclusively. They want you to be committed. Remember, I talked about the cow that was committed in the creating of suya, right? That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for a chicken who would participate in the creation of omelets, right? So at least from what I know about them, they're really strong on that particular point. Yeah. Does that answer your question? I believe so. Okay. Yeah. Next question is from Chinedu.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, thank you so much for this meeting. I've learned a lot so far already. Okay, my question is related to the last person that asked the question, but our organization is new. We have
Mhm.
not launched. In fact, we're about to launch next month.
Okay.
But it's new. It's in the education sector.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll be focusing on it 100%. But it's an app. It's a digital solution.
Mhm.
We also have a way of meeting people one-on-one, also, and
Mhm.
offering mentoring and other things. So,
Mhm.
but I want to know, because we have built this solution, and by the time they might want to be given the grant,
Mhm.
we have launched and probably started getting some traction.
Mhm.
Will this be helpful for us? Like,
Which challenge do you fall under? Is this under health? Is this
no,
under
education.
okay, under education? Good. Does it fall under teaching at the right level?
Um, yeah, somehow, because yeah, exactly, because our focus in our product is personalized learning. Yeah,
Do you focus on people in primary school?
primary school and secondary school. That's our focus.
Okay, so I think for the price, they might be much more interested in primary school. You remember I talked about the criteria that said, where they said your proposal needs to be tightly scoped. I don't know if I think I mentioned that there was a place they talked about like the proposal needs to be very tight, like they don't like this. See, I don't know how else do I explain it? You need to be laser focused. They just want you doing one thing, right? So I can almost predict that even if you cross the first AU, it will not lead to an actual award. So what I would probably recommend would be doing your own thing and looking for funders that align with what you want. I don't really believe in tailoring my organization to fit what a funder is looking for. Do you understand? I believe that you should know what you want and go for it. And then any funder who aligns with you, good. If they don't align, you let them be. So that idea will not win. Now, is it okay if I'm just blunt and truthful with you guys?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, yeah, I don't want to flatter you and all that. I just want
Yeah,
to tell you, yeah, see, this will not go. And I tell you why. Like from what you just said now, it will not win, because it's essentially the first weakness I see is that it is targeting to multiple customer segments, primary, secondary school. Another issue I'm seeing is that you're already talking about a technology and an app, but you're not talking about the problem, right? So they said it must be a proven poverty solution. So an app is a tool to delivering something. That something that you're delivering should be the solution. And the solution must have been proven. When they say proven, it means that you need to point to scientific evidence or published research that shows that XYZ type of personalized learning has led to increase in academic achievements with regards to literacy or numeracy. And it was published XYZ years ago. Here's a link to the journal. There was a grant I won. I got over $200,000 for that particular grant. And part of how I won it was to cite evidences, like very clear evidences. And I gave them link to those documents, right? So independently, they could verify everything. So I doubt if you will be able to do that with your particular approach, right? They're going to nitpick the whole thing and it won't fly, and maybe just as a caution, apps really deliver on impact, right? So usually, even for what you're doing, I would just suggest, I mean, I would just a suggestion, having seen what I've seen in this field, I would suggest you pilot what the specific solution you're trying to deliver, pilot it regardless of the app, because you're just going to burn a lot of money paying developers building that particular app without even being sure of like the core if it's highly like if what you're trying to solve really, 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 really works. A lot of people have
yeah.
lost money on
Like
app
I
issues.
said, the app is already built, and we are
Exactly.
about to launch, and we have content already in the app. Um, Am I free to mention the name of our app?
No, I don't think it's necessary to mention
Okay.
the name. I mean, if you want to, that's fine, but I don't think it's necessary.
It's
Anyway,
our business is Classmigo. So we have our website is classmigo.com. So we are focusing on primary and secondary school across Nigeria. And what we are building is personalized learning. We have over 6,000 videos on our platform already for these categories. So yeah, that's actually the solution we're providing.
oh, I got that. That thing will not fly, yo. The reason is I think I was involved in someone who was going to apply for the prize with something similar, and I think they were even going to go as far as putting the content because you're going to have issue with internet accessibility and availability of tablets for people to watch offline. And then if you put it on tablets, who's going to charge it? Because some of these poverty-stricken communities do not even have electricity, right? So you now have to start going to how you set up like little solar stations to be able to charge those tablets, and so many issues and it did not fly, actually, even though they did a lot of work in terms of like making sure that the content becomes accessible to these particular kids. You're gonna have issues of theft, right? In some of these poor communities, when everybody sees that, suddenly Simon now has tablets, they're targeted, tablets are stolen or broken, or something happens. So it did not essentially fly. So what will be more interesting to them would be if, for example, you took a look at some of the past winners from this program to see like, okay, they actually would go to the school physically, manually assess the kids, write down what they saw, right? And then they had a curriculum manual, and then they would just assign, so part of the budget would go towards paying teachers, right? Or corpers that you hired to work for you for that particular period. You see the difference? So you are coming with an app, somebody's coming with like, okay, I'm just going to budget, I don't know, let's say I'm going to budget 1 million naira to pay 3 or 4 corpers or graduates who work with me during that particular period. You see, it's kind of different. Yours is more expensive, much more smarter in terms of like technology, but that person's approach would actually work and deliver the impact within the kind of community that the prize is looking to serve. Do you understand? So I'm just trying to play more like a judge role, yeah, to like give you like honest insight into if this would be a fit or not. Okay, we have more questions coming in. But it's a good idea. I think there will be other grants. I think you should pursue MasterCard Foundation grants. $100,000. I think you should apply for that. That would be a better fit for you and some of these other grant opportunities out there. So yeah, I think you should consider that. And Jeff, can you unmute and ask your question? Okay, while Jeff is trying to unmute, I will just go through the questions being asked on the chat.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Jeff. Okay, do you want to ask your question quickly?
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was really insightful. So my question is, let's say you are already, just like the question the lady asked, but now you want to channel. Let's say you already have a different audience that you are solving the same problem for, but now you want to channel it to what the prize wants, because the audience you have been solving that problem for could afford it. I don't know if you understand me, sir. But now the audience you are going to channel this problem to, they can't afford it, hence the need for the grant. So can you apply using doing something like that? That's my first question. Then my second question is, for example, you are into the educational field, but then you have been doing this for, let's say, a very long time. You've been teaching and you've been into the educational, but there is no, will I use the word certification for that? but you have a track record of content on IG, YouTube, and the rest of them.
Mhm.
So would that also be like a leverage for you to use in terms of getting the grant? So those are my 2 questions, sir.
Yeah, so I'll start with the second one. In terms of getting the grant, I think if you have probably worked in the field of that falls under your CV. Right, yeah, you've been a teacher for 10 years, probably you did not get any special certification for that, right? But you can mention that on your CV, but then you now need to highlight your accomplishments. I said mention the top 3 accomplishments you had on that role using numbers and actual data that allows someone to examine that you're an exceptional human being, right? The first question was about adapting your existing product, right, to the donor. Yeah. Again, as a matter of personal philosophy, it's not something that I buy into. I think it does not lead to success, and it leads to long-term headache if you're successful. So what do I mean by that? You are trying to go to Abuja. That's your vision. You're trying to go to Abuja or so. Somebody gives you visa, gives you 10 million naira and says, go to London. Yeah, you go to London, but remember, you have made 0 progress towards Abuja, right? So you go to London, enjoy yourself, spend a lot of time and money there. But 6 months or 1 year or 10 years later, you have to still come back to the Abuja you need to go. So usually, I teach people to be powerful when it comes to fundraising, which means that you need to be in charge of your fundraising journey and your fundraising success. If a funder does not meet your criteria, then you too will score them low and move on, right? So it's just like the funders are not the only people who should be selecting applicants or winners. You also need to select, you need to be choosy about who you take money from, because you don't want money that distracts you. Okay, thank you for that. I'm going to move on to Chris right now. Chris, you can ask a question.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening,
So my
Chris.
question is simple. Let's assume that you have a solution that does this teach at the right level, but you're doing it in an indirect way. So instead of like talking to the children directly, maybe you are teaching the parents on impacting them. So that way it's more like a widespread it's more like a widespread solution that you don't have to be there physically. All you need to do is just to train the parents, and then the parents can impact their children. Do you think that will fly? And secondly, is this something that you have to be in like physically, or something that can work online? That's my question, sir.
Okay, I think, yeah, the last question, is this something that can be online and all those kind of things? Essentially, I think it's about commitment, right? The difference between the cattle and the chicken, or the cow and the chicken, is commitment, right? So if you're gonna walk online and all those kind of things, I don't think they will pick you. The reason being that you're probably gonna have like 500 other people who also applied with a similar idea and are all seeing in fact, they're even living by the school. They'll tell you that they're living by the corner of the school, so they are ready to be committed to this. So for that reason, it will not be a competitive application. Now, in terms of indirect, I think what you're talking about might be your approach to implementing the TAL, right? You need to provide evidence that that approach works. So if you're claiming that, okay, you need to train parents who are busy and who probably don't even want to be, most parents don't want to be teaching their kids, doing all those kind of things. They would rather pay a teacher or a tutor to do some of those things. If you claim that you have figured out a way to motivate parents to do the teaching or administer the program to their own kids, man, you have a lot of evidence to provide, and those evidence will not be you coming to tell them that you tried it on 50 kids and it worked. You have to have done that and then gotten it published. So which means you should have gotten like a PhD or master's degree student who would have published their findings on an independent journal. Do you understand? Uh-huh. So if you have done that, then you should definitely apply, and I think it will fly. But if you have not done that, then it does not qualify. You see every single word you see here. They take it very seriously. I'm telling you the truth. Proven poverty solution, like every single word you see here. It's not just a case of they just wrote it, oh, they take every single word seriously or literally. Yeah. I'm going to move on to Ronke. Ronke, you can ask your question.
Hello, good evening, Blessing.
Yeah, good evening, Ronke.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Though I came a little bit late, but the
Mm.
question I want to ask, I have a school,
Mm-hmm.
it's a nursery and primary school. I've been a
Mhm.
teacher for like 20 years. I started my school about more than 5 years ago, and we
Okay.
do teach by differentiation.
Okay.
In the class, especially the early childhood,
Mm-hmm.
even though some of them are in the same class, they learn different things because their level of understanding is not the same.
Yeah.
So I have a file for the children. All the pupils have
Hello, Ronke. Are you still there?
files with their names written. Well, let me take an example. If you have like 10 pupils in nursery 2, they all have different files with their name written on it and their lessons activities in each of these files.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know much about what you have said because I came a little bit is eligible, for a grant.
I think, Ronke, you broke. Can you repeat the last few words you said?
Okay, I said I just want to know if someone like me, the kind of vision I have, is eligible for a grant.
What is the vision? I did not hear that part of your vision. What's your vision?
The vision is to raise creative, independent children,
Mm-hmm.
kids who will be creative, who
Okay.
will be able to do things on their own.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think you could raise money for any vision, even if you decide you wanted to sell wee, right? You could raise money. If you decide you want to package poo and sell, you raise money. I know people who have literally done that and raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, like doing that. So you can raise money for any vision. The most important thing would be having clarity around your fundraising strategy, having a working product and then having a good team, to help implement it at scale. But you can actually raise money for it. The price will not be the right program for you, but there are definitely other programs that you would be a great fit for.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. May I ask, based on the approach you've done, have you worked with any PhDs or master students? Have you gotten any of your results published yet or no?
No, I haven't gotten any of my result published.
Yeah, that's something you should definitely look into.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe if you have a friend who is a teacher or is a doctor or a professor or whatever.
No, I've worked with I've done some what is it called? Some programs with the British Council.
Mm-hmm.
I did some trainings there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and have certification in education myself.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So what I'm talking about is different. It is, and I say the same thing to people who come to me and say, hey, we've developed some form of cure, herbal cure for XYZ disease, right? And we've gotten NAFDAC approval. Yeah, good and fine. But until that particular product gets published on a journal, on a medical or pharmacological journal, it's not going to fly at a large scale, right? So you've done this fantastic thing. So what you need is an independent researcher. So how it will work practically would be you would talk to either the head of a department or some professors of education, wherever, and then you now tell them, hey, this is what I've been doing for several years. Can you talk to one or two of your students to come and, because they're always looking for projects to do that have relevance to the sector, right? So can you ask them to come and do research? I will give them all the data and everything they need. So these guys would then adopt the organization for their master's degree or thesis or PhD, whatever. And then what they will do will be they will do everything academic language and all that, and then publish their findings. Then they will not only publish their findings in their final report to their professor. What they will do will be they will have to publish it on journals,
Okay.
multiple journals, right?
Mm.
Yeah, yes, and you can even be a co-author to that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you can be a co-author to that, and it has several benefits, right? Part of the benefits, like you're now a published author, they get what they want, you get what you want. You can now cite that when you go to, so you could literally take that result and pitch. You can write or pitch to Gates Foundation and say, hey, I've developed a technique for this, right? I'm looking for $500,000 to take this. I want to take this to Rwanda or Ghana or these other countries. I want to get their government or XYZ involved. This is what it will cost me. Can I talk to you about it? And by the way, here's a list of 5 published journals. So they will send that to their own experts. They will look at it, publish well, like they will read the details of it and then reach out to you. So that's where you then see people getting grants that were not published. You see the
Okay.
secret? Uh-huh. So they get grants that were not published online. You've heard of people winning those type of grants. A lot of times, most of those grants have strong scientific and academic basis. So this is how you tie it up when it comes to fundraising strategy, or else you do that in 40 years. You will make money from sales, but until you have published results that can be verified independently, you will not be able to break out in terms of massive grant funds.
Okay.
I
I understand. It makes sense now. Thank you so much.
Especially for you that is an expert, it's something you need to do. And I'll tell you a story. I was doing black soya fly farming out from Delta. That was like probably 12 or 15 years ago. It's been long. And I had people who came in from the US, from Netherlands. They came to my facility to see the work I was doing, and amazing work and all that. But guess what? The people who raised the most money were the people who who did scientific work, right? So, and I started that already though. I got a professor to come join me and all that. They got a PhD and all. But man, those things take so many years to even do, right? Before I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to do something else. I don't want to do this right now because it's going to be so expensive. Like I spent tens of millions on that project. I was like, no, I don't want to finish my money on this particular thing. Let me wait, let the whole research, everything get finished, get published. Then if I decide to do this in the future, I will come back to it. And believe me, a lot of people have raised millions of USD and euros on that particular project. In fact, one of the main organizations I collaborated with, they got a major grant from the Dutch embassy in Nigeria. Major grants. They've been doing a lot of work with IITA and the likes. You know, so that's how it works. A lot of money has gone into that same thing, but it's the academic and scientific people who are part of that project who help you raise the financing for this.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think I see a logo, sir. Your hands are up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Ronke. And let's keep engaging. Join the academy if you want to.
Yeah, I will. I just want to put some things in order because I don't just want to enroll, with the hope of, I want to get a grant, and I now realize that it involves a lot of work, and I'll be kind of disappointed. At least I just want to get, lay the foundation, get the proper thing, and set my mind that I'm going to do the work.
Yeah, you should. I'm excited to have you here. you should definitely just keep in touch. I'm on Facebook. Chat.
Definitely, I'll join your academy. Definitely,
Yeah,
Blessing.
yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I think Elegosa, Elogosa, your hands are up.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity, although I came a bit late.
That's
My
fine.
my idea is regarding agriculture. So
Okay.
I'm a person that's very passionate about agriculture, and
Okay.
for over 6 months, I've been undergoing a training on aeroponics and hydroponics
Oh,
farming,
nice.
and I love to pass the knowledge also to people in my state. So the plan is to start a structure of cluster farmers,
Mm-hmm.
providing the inputs for them so they can farm and also help them live, especially smallholder farmers.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is to start this year, and also I would like to know how I can go about it. It's looking big in my head, but I'd like to know if I can go about it, sir.
Yeah, about how you can implement that particular project, right? So
Yes,
essentially, the summary of it will be you need specific resources. Number one, you need a
yes,
team. You cannot do it alone. Number two, you need land where the farmers will plant their something. You need inputs, which would cost money, right? Those
yes.
are the top three things you need. And of course, you need like a deep understanding of the specific crop or commodity you want to plant. So my advice to the last one would be to pick one specific crop you want to focus on and build your expertise around that. Okay, so
Mm,
specifically, if you're going to do crop, I highly encourage you to target soya beans, or maize. These are two crops that we always sell any day, anytime, right?
yeah,
And then maybe I know for hydroponics and co, a lot of vegetables need to be produced. So I'll probably focus on high demand vegetables, or so that are not being supplied in bulk within the market. Habanero pepper, right? I
yeah,
don't
yes,
know who
yeah.
consume it, but I like it. Uh, but I don't know. You need to do market research to find out which specific type of product who has premium price, high demand, right? Then in
Yes,
terms of you need team. The training you
yeah.
did right now, you probably have one or two other persons who or so who participated who are exceptionally good. They will make fantastic team members. You probably want to you probably have friends in your life or somewhere else who might be good with business or who know what they're doing. They might be good team members. It's not compulsory, but you need to have good people around you, one or two, to participate in this your project. Then in terms of land, if I were you, I would not buy the land. I would either
Okay,
get a group of farmers to commit their own land or talk to a local community leader through your family network also to say, hey, this is my vision and all that for this community. I need you to lease me um, a piece of land, maybe 100 piece of land or 50 piece of, or start small, whatever, right? Or if you just
yeah.
need like a small piece of land, ask them for that. And then you do not pay cash, you negotiate to pay with part of your harvest, right?
Okay,
Yeah, so you
okay,
don't use money to do that. Then with the inputs, what you need to do would be to go negotiate with a supplier, right? So you look out for either Syngenta or some of these seed companies around. You might need to sell. In order to sell, you need to be able to have a thick skin to withstand rejection, right? So
okay.
in that particular case, you should prepare to speak to 10 to 20 seed companies or supply companies, expect
Yes,
rejection from 19 or 18 of them, and expect one success. You just need one good sell of someone who will believe in you and provide. So you can entirely run this vision with $0, right? But you
yes,
fundraise
sir.
money using an in-kind strategy. Do you understand? So if I
Yes,
were
sir.
you, that's how I will go about it. And if you're able to pull your first pilot off, then you are now on track to actually raise more money, like do something bigger, then come back to me. and say, oh, Mr. Mele, I participated in one of your free program. You advised me to do this. I did that. This is what happened. Might even get a free ticket to attend the academy. So, because I'm excited
Yes,
when
sir.
people take advice and then they produce results with it. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Benis,
you.
you're welcome, Elego, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, hi, Benis. Good evening.
Thank you so much for the amazing session. It has really enlightened. Okay, I have two questions. For the
Yeah, your
price,
voice is really low.
applying for, okay. For the price, can you hear me better now, sir?
Clearly.
Okay, I'm applying for the energy sector, supplying
Okay.
of solar lamps to areas with education. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, my experience, although I normally distribute gadgets and stuff, but my experience in the energy sector is quite limited. But I have worked with guys in that sector. I have a lot of guys in that area. So one of my team members has more experience, like years of experience, even more than me as the head of the team. Will that be a constraint? And also, this same team member has an established business in renewable energy and generating energy with solar panels and all. So would that be an issue in applying for the grant in case probably they check on our background and everything, like company running? Will that be an issue?
I think you are the main applicant with the vision and all that. So maybe you could make that person like a either an implementing partner where you would source the solar lamps from, and also maybe they would help you with advisory to help complement that weakness you might have with solar or
Okay, sure.
understanding of solar. So they become part of the team, but they're not necessarily invested in terms of like commitment. They're participating, right? They're not like partner. They're there more at an advisory and business capacity. Yeah, and then I think you should give it a shot, definitely, because you're 100% new, and then you're not trying to set up a renewable energy business. You're trying to set up some form of NGO or business that whose focus is exclusively to distribute this particular product. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That
you're
was my
welcome. You're welcome. Okay, Zoe.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr.
Hey,
Blessing.
good evening.
I have been in and out of the class, but I've been in the class, right? So I don't know if you answered this question or not. So I work with an ORG that's into tech, or basically combine tech with the legal affairs of our day-to-day life. So we have a solution that has been in the works for over like 6 months now. Is a web app. And one of the features is it helps to monitor, sessions, legal sessions with a judge or with whoever is in court on that day. But because of we've been on for a while with other activities. We've been we've been around for a while. But this platform itself is very different. It's very new. Do you think we can apply for the grant, for the prizes grant?
For the prize, no.
No, we can't.
No, because it's
Okay.
already a well-established organization.
Mhm.
Yeah, they are looking for new organizations. Do you see it here?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so once the organization is not new, so they are like, if you are trying to start your own organization, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're looking to finance you. So if
Okay.
you've already started and all that, you're not a good fit for them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. So, but of course, there are other grants that you're a perfect fit for that even gives you better money. Okay, so which is what I'm trying to say with the idea of the prize is that they want to do stuff for new people, but essentially with what you learn from today's meeting, you understand what it takes to win. So if you know that you do not meet the criteria, then there's no need applying and wasting your time, right? And then you take the wisdom and you apply it to other grants that you might be eligible for. Okay, I see there's a question from Samsung also. Yeah, you can unmute and ask.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, I am Jideka. Okay,
Hi.
I'm a medical laboratory scientist. I had always wanted to join your class, though I'm talking with your wife.
Oh,
So
cool.
when I joined your class, maybe I didn't this one. So but what I am a medical laboratory scientist and I have a facility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not new, yes. Then I have an NGO which I established based
Mm-hmm.
on to reach out to the underserved
Mm-hmm.
within us, around us. So we've been doing that just basically on our own.
Uh-huh.
Basically on our own, we get into the community, reach out to them. It's like a medical mission through the provision of drugs, laboratory testing, consultation, eye treatment, like giving of glasses and drugs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
When we are done, if we have referrals that we cannot handle, we refer to any hospital, any tertiary in hospital
Mm-hmm.
close to the environment or the community we went. So
Mm-hmm.
we've been on for some years. Then I have data that I've collected for all this while, though it's on the process of trying to publish them, though we've not finished for all the things we have done in different communities. I am in River State, but we go outside River State. So
Okay.
if I'm to, yes, I've tried to get a grant or from NGOs, like funds for NGOs. I've not been able, maybe I'm not doing it properly. Yes, I think I'm not doing it properly. So all other ones we've been doing are self-sponsored. And we've reached over
What's the
thousands of
question
persons.
in this case?
Pardon?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what the question is.
So what I'm saying, how do we get which other grant? Because as I'm seeing it, we may not be eligible for the
Okay.
prize.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there
Which
are
other?
other grants. I cannot give you a clear example right now. However, you will need to invest time in research to figure out like what sorts of grants. So if I was you, I would probably be targeting grants that align with your sector, grants that align with your stage of development, grants that align with the type of budget you're looking for. So maybe your current budget right now is $100,000 per year or $50,000 per year or more. You would target grants that will give you that amount of money. I would never apply to a $20,000 grant when I know that my budget is like, I don't know, 500K per year. Do you understand? Because it's not going to help me.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, there's a methodology to that though. But that's not something like I can provide you an answer here.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do know
Okay.
that
You
what
provide,
you do.
if I come in for your class, for your academy.
So my academy, yeah, maybe I could talk about it briefly, just because I like creating clarity around what I do and what I do not do. So what do I do? My goal essentially is to, if you're looking to win grants or raise equity investments, my goal is essentially to teach you how to think clearly, how to approach funders, how to apply for funds, and how to know if you would win or not. I teach a lot of the secrets. So like this question you asked, essentially, if you have gone through my academy, you will not ask that particular question because I would have taught you how do you find funds and all those things. So it is said that you teach a man to fish. You give a man fish, you feed him for a day, you teach him to fish, you feed him for the rest of his life. So this academy is more like teaching people how to fundraise, right? So that they themselves can take ownership of their own fundraising. So I'm not necessarily the best person to come sit down start looking for grant for somebody. No, I'll teach you how to find it, because I don't want you to come back to me, right? Because I'm not in the business of like, oh, come, I'll do this for you. I'm not like a consultant or so. So I could link you up to consultants who will help you do that. Yeah, that's what they do full time. But my own job is really just to teach you to do it yourself. And if you decide to hire a consultant, you will be able to hold them accountable to specific quality standards, right? In terms of what you expect them to deliver to you. Do you understand?
Okay. Okay. So what do your one-on-one entails?
So my one-on-one, I've done a few of that on this call. Like there was a lady, is it Legusa or Benis, who just asked me, oh, she wants to do XYZ for like she just learned hydroponics, she wants to do XYZ. How does she go about that? So those are the kind of questions I like to address in my sessions. If somebody wants to raise money, or they're looking to raise money and they need ideas on how to go about it, like practical ideas, or you're having some form of difficult challenges, I would help you. Like, you literally have my brain for that 1 hour, right? Like I would give you everything. Even if I have connection to help you with, I will do that myself. So that is what I do in the 1 hour sessions. Just a way of like really helping people with my network, with my knowledge, with wisdom that God has blessed me with.
Okay.
And if you have time, just go on the website. It's fracad.com.
What?
Fracad. I'm going to post it on the chat now. Just go read a little bit more about what I teach. It's going to give
Okay.
an idea. And I mean, I even have fundraising consultants who come to me to learn too. So, and that's also
Okay.
fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you were saying I should go ahead and make the publications for all the data I have for the works I've done so far.
No, I didn't say that. I just said that I would not be able to right now provide you a list of grants that you can apply for.
No. No, I'm asking, from the data I've got so far, I should put them for publication.
Yeah, you should get somebody who is probably a master's or PhD or professor to collaborate with. You might not be able to do it yourself. So it's always
Yes, I have.
just talk to them. They should be better able to guide you around how to publish some of those things. And then you might even find out that maybe there might be some things missing from your data that they will need to make it a scientifically accepted something publication.
Yes.
Yeah, that's usually how they work. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I think Bamidele, you asked the last question. Then I will just read the questions on the chat. Okay. Yeah, you can unmute Bamidele. Okay, Bamidele, if you do not unmute, I'm just gonna move on right now to, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm going to look at the question. How much is the fundraising academy? How much is the fundraising academy? So the fundraising academy right now is about 200K to participate.
Hello.
So if you're interested,
Hello.
check it out. Yeah.
Okay, this is Bamidele Tinuola Suzanne.
Oh, hi.
I'm fine. Let me ask my question. Actually, I'm into production of shea butter.
Oh, cool.
Shea butter.
Cool.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Continue.
Okay, I'm Bamidele Tinuola from Kwara State, Nigeria. So I'm into production of shea butter.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually have machine, like 4 machines that I'm using to extract the shea butter from shea nuts. So, but I still have I've been producing it for 4 years now. Even I have customer in another country, but it's not formal how I used to carry it out. So, and I'm in need of machine for production, for proper production. Even I have the one manual one that I'm using, but so I don't know how I can raise fund for that.
How much
Other
are you looking
grants
for?
for production. I need like 10,000, 10 million. Sorry.
10 million. Okay.
So
Yeah, okay, that's the question, right? So if you want to raise cash for that, I think this will fall under manufacturing. Essentially for something like that. Sorry, your background is noisy, so I will mute you. If you don't mind. So for something like that, I think that falls under manufacturing. So you could raise grants for that. You could also raise a loan, like a low interest asset financing facility loan to help you buy the equipment that you're looking for. If the equipment is going to cost 10 million, I think you might need to budget for close to 20 million because you would need extra cash to run the business, pay for marketing, pay your staff and all that for at least a period of 1 year before your sales kicks off, right? So yeah, you could do a combination of grants and loans. Where can you get the money from? Depends on your existing track record. You might want to talk to BOI. I think this falls under like the kind of things that they are excited about. Yeah, so BOI would be like a very good one in terms of loan. You might also be able to talk to a few banks who do provide agricultural financing. Then in terms of grants, you need to, I think GAIN, you should check out GAIN. GAIN has a grant. I don't know if it's currently ongoing, but I do know that they have grants around supporting women, you know, and providing financing for women. So I would recommend checking out GAIN. I know they've been doing some things with processing and all that. And then also look out for grant opportunities around women that want to support women or that want to support agro processing. So those are the grants I'll probably focus on if I was you. Okay, so I'm sure that answers the question. I don't know if Chinedu raised up his hand again or it was the old one. So if it's a new one, just type on the chat so that I can see it. Tally is asking, can one propose a digital solution for this challenge? I think you can. They don't really care whether it's digital or not. What they care about is how you will implement it and how you would distribute at scale. Okay, that is what the price cares about. Not necessarily, they care about a working product that is either based on research that they have done and confirmed, and they care about your thinking. They want to understand how you will go about implementing it. So you said you're going to reach 200 kids in XYZ location. How would you go about that? And when you find these 200 kids, how would you provide that sort of training? What they care about is outcomes, which means like, okay, these 200 kids, maybe you figure out that half of them need teaching to be able to read properly. Maybe another half need help with like being able to do basic mathematics. How would you do that thing? How would you train them? How would you support them? What is your methodology? Would you hire coppers to do it? How would you train the coppers to be able to train the kids? How would you measure that, you know, your intervention has had an impact on the kids? And then having explained that, how would you do that for 2,000 kids, for 20,000 kids, for 200,000 kids? They want to just understand your thinking. They don't need perfect proposals. They just need proposals that are well thought out, like you've thought through the entire thing. So I hope that answers your question, Tally. Let me see. Faith, how much is the fundraising academy? Fundraising academy is 200,000. If you're on the group on WhatsApp, I'm going to drop a discount code for those people who apply early. So look out for the discount code on the WhatsApp channel. Okay. Then there's another question here. Somebody is asking, Okay, I think I already answered that question. Okay, I already answered some of these questions. Okay, Neoma is asking, must you be a doctor? What if you already have public health background? Yeah, that background is good enough. You must not be a medical doctor to do an health intervention. There are many types of health specialists. Being a medical doctor is one. Being a lab scientist is another one. Being a pharmacist is another one. What matters is your proposal and how you would implement it and grow it or scale it to multiple locations. Then Kito is asking, do I need to register an NGO to apply? No, you don't need to register an NGO to apply. It's just an idea right now. It does not have to be registered. Say, how about I have done some education training for kids in school, but not as an NGO, but as a private project. I have pictures as proof. Yeah, pictures as proof is good, but what they're asking for is evidence. Evidence is different from pictures as proof. Evidence is around what you implemented, what sort of data was gathered, who gathered it, you know, from how you like. So it's almost like you're coming to say, I taught 50 children, and these 50 children, before I started teaching them, they could only do 1 + 1 = 2. Now, after I taught them for 3 months, they're able to do 100 × 100 long multiplication. And as a result of that, all of them passed their mathematics. Before they used to score 20/100. Now they're scoring 80/100, 70/100. In fact, the average score is 75/100. And I achieved that within a space of X number of months. That is something you can package and present to them. Okay, so that's of course something that they're excited about. And that question says, we're a non-profit based in Arabia, not fully an educational, except scholarships provided to indigent students. We work on health, blah, blah. We have one figure. What do you advise us to do? Continue doing what you're doing. That's my advice. I don't think the price is a good fit, but there are other grants you can apply for. Other grants, many other grants you can apply for. So if I was you, I would apply for all those other types of grants. Another person is asking, what if it's a business that will make you profits? So what are you, what you're basically asking for is money to drive that impact and profit. Yeah, it's okay. If your business, if you're going to make money delivering that solution, they're even excited about it too. Okay, so it does not matter. They will still provide you the grant to be able to test out. Again, this proposal is about you making, of course, the proposal, but in order for this thing to work, what do you need to be sure of, right? What do you need to verify? For example, if I was going to do solar lamps and all those things, one of the things I would test would be, okay, the pricing. Maybe solar lamps are expensive, I don't know. Maybe one solar lamp is going to cost 50,000 naira. I'm just using that as an example. Now, how do you make this affordable for people? How many people will buy it? Are people even interested in getting solar lamps or paying for it? Right? And if you're going to supply solar lamps, who would you supply it to? Would it be poor people who have not even gotten enough money to eat, right? Or would it be people who own shops in communities where poor people live? Because at least that person has cash flow, right? They will be able to take, maybe they're paying you 1,000 naira per month, or they're paying you 5K per month. So over 10 months, they cover. So to test that out is part of what you are asking money for. So you pick something that you want to test to make sure that, oh, this idea will work. That's what the price is financing. Okay, I'm going to go to the most recent questions being asked. Hey, Dayo, good to see you. For people new to fundraising, they might want to get your book, The Winning Streak. We have a few copies. Like, oh, Dayo, oh, fantastic. So Dayo, please type your phone number on the chat. So I have a book, The Winning Streak. It will help you with fundraising. I teach a lot of things there that helps you to understand what it means to win grants, what it is to even understand what type of ideas to package for grant applications. I share a lot of insights around how to improve sales, how to win competitions, how to raise grants investments. I think we just have a few copies left. I don't think we have up to 10 or 20 left. So you can get copies of that book from Dio. Dio, if you could put that, yeah. Yes, and if you could also put the price so that people know, the phone number is 08060779290. Wherever you are in Nigeria, Dio will send you the book. We ship the book to you. It's just 5,000 naira. And Dio will send you the book wherever you are in Nigeria. So look out for it. Then I have two ideas. Which do you think is more likely to scale? I produce a diabetic biscuit, water reducing the resilience of single-use plastic. Edible biscuits cups up as an alternative to plastic cup. Frankly, Theophilus, I don't understand the question you asked. It's not clear. Dio, can you drop your WhatsApp number? People are trying to reach you on WhatsApp to get the book. I'm getting chats here. Then let me move on to the next question. Can someone who has a business apply for the fund with plans to set up an NGO in the educational sector to tackle problems with children yeah, I think you can. You can, Chinedu. I think you can. If I was you, I would give it a shot. Actually, if I was you, I'll give it a shot. I don't believe like any effort is wasted. I just feel like there are lessons to learn. But I will give it a shot, specifically if you are going to set up an NGO dedicated to this. Yeah, I will definitely give it a shot. Okay, so I would encourage you to apply. So with the idea I have for training farmers and youths in agriculture, can I still apply for the prize grant regarding the? Yes, you can. So if I was you, a logo star, you come on the prize, you go under agriculture. Okay, you come here, you click on agriculture. And I think what you said fits under quality inputs challenge. So you click on quality inputs challenge, and then this would be the challenge you would address, okay? So this is what you should apply for. You should pick one of the challenges that they've identified here and apply for it. Okay, next question is from Toyin. I would like to distribute clean cook stores, but don't have background in energy sector. Can I apply to the price challenge? And I don't have a team yet. No, you can apply, but you will not win because you don't have the background they're looking for, and you don't also have a team. Like you don't have anything, so don't do it. What you should apply for will be things like Tony Lemelu Foundation grants, because like anybody can win that. There's no like criteria that holds you back. Okay. Then another question here is how many people can be on a team on the grants? 1 to 3 is okay. I would advise not more than 3 in terms of founders. Of course, you might have other people like stakeholders and other who contribute to that grant. Yeah. Who contribute to the implementation of that program, I mean. Okay. So that would, I think, let me check. So that will be all the questions that have been asked today. I'm so excited to have every one of you on the call. Learn more about Fundraising Academy. We teach you how to raise money, how to win grants and raise investments. I don't like overselling this program because the program delivers 100x value to people who register. But I would encourage you to, if you're really genuine about your intention to raise money and you're looking for someone who will guide you step by step, and you are serious about committing to learning about fundraising, whether grants, equity, or loans, then find 200,000 naira and send to me. And you're going to realize that that's the best 200K you spent. Okay, I really want to thank everybody for joining today's call. God bless you and do have a good evening. Rest. This program, we're going to continue to publish. So I think moving forward, I'm going to be doing programs like this that teach about specific grants and all those kind of things, just to really give more value to the community for free. Okay, so if you're on the WhatsApp group, please stay. If you have any feedback, chat me up. If you want to do a one-on-one session with me, chat me up, and I'll be happy to support you. This is really about adding value to the community and adding value to your business or NGO. From all of us at Fundraising Academy and on behalf of Cohort 4, right, we're having our final pitch coming up on Saturday. I'm excited, looking forward to win the 1 million naira grant. Have a fantastic night rest. Good night, people. So I'm going to allow people to unmute themselves. If you need to say anything briefly, you can unmute yourself. Good night, people, and thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you for your patience. We really appreciate you. God bless you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Next week, I'm going to talk with you on one-on-one. So I'll chat you on WhatsApp and then I will take it from there.
That's okay.
Hey, yourself. I greet you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Alfred,
Blessing, for the wonderful session.
you're
I also
welcome.
be in your DM. I'm interested. I was the one that sent the message about an angel based in Abia. We need support. I'll be in your DM.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Thank you so much. Dayo, you are not on WhatsApp. Is that your WhatsApp number?
I think that should be his WhatsApp. That your VT's WhatsApp number.
Yes, it's my WhatsApp number. I've been getting some chats already from people here, so you can chat me up on WhatsApp.
Okay, awesome.
Okay,
Awesome.
I've tried to get you on WhatsApp, but I can't. So
We type your
Maybe
number in the
network.
chat. Maybe that will reach out to you.
Okay,
okay.
yes, you can
Okay.
chat your number.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick
Okay.
it up.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me send my number also.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, Angelica, good night.
Good night. I have sent my number. Check on the chat.
All right. Received.
Nice. Igosa,
Okay.
good to see you here today.
Yeah, thank you for the insightful session.
Oh, nice. I'm sure you guys loved it.
Hope we will get the project.
Yeah, I'm going to share the link.
Session.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you guys loved it, right? Okay, that's good.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, Chisom, Daniel, David, bye, Dr. Sambo. Dr. Sambo, hey, I owe you one.
I greet you, sir.
I greet
Good
you.
evening, sir. Yes,
So much
sir.
is happening. So much is happening. But it's well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hannah, Tally, Timmy Pray, Yoshuko. Good to see you guys. Do have a good night rest, people.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you too, Samuel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Benis.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tayo. Good to see you again.
Yes, good to see you too.
Okay.